So it would help if I would know the date, but hey y'all, we are in Italy. We are in Rome, Italy, and it is an hour ahead of Portugal time. So look, for those of you who didn't think that we were doing a live today, come on over. We're here. We are here. And we are going to talk about Black financial independence, global living, and how to break free from a system that was never designed for us.
Since Trump has been back in office as of April 2025, he's launched worldwide tariffs that are shaking the global economy.
That's right. So how are the BRICS nations responding? And more importantly, how should we respond as Black investors, travelers, and expats?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I am trying to do two things at one time. Sorry about that.
So we can introduce ourselves in the meantime, right?
Thank you. Hey, y'all. My name is Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad. We help Black folks who are getting close to retirement age get their money straight so that they can retire on time, or maybe even early.
Early is a real good thing.
Yeah, definitely. But look, we have launched our membership program, y'all.
Yes, we have.
And it is right next to the icon that you see below the video screen. All right. And so those of you who will become members, we've got 3 so far. Come on, y'all.
And we have 2 levels.
Oh, that's right. We have 2 levels. So the first level, you will get behind the scenes every single week. You'll hang out with us, chitty chat, and we'll do some behind the scenes. And those of you who want to become Utopian legends, we are offering you an opportunity to join us live every other Thursday as we chitty chat about financial news and anything else that we could possibly think of.
Yes.
Right? And we've got more perks coming. So if you want to support this channel, and this is especially important as the United States administration starts to silence voices that are not in line with their ideals. And so it is very important that we maintain whatever we need to do to keep bringing information to you in a thoughtful and way with integrity, right? And truth, because facts do matter.
They matter, yeah.
Right? All right, sweetheart. So what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about how BRICS just gave Trump the middle finger and protecting Black wealth.
That's right.
So we will quickly remind you of who the BRIC countries are and why they are significant.
We will discuss the ripple effect and how BRICS nations are responding.
And then we'll talk about what we should be looking out for and what we should be doing.
That's right. So let's get to it. In the meantime, why is my mama calling me? Why my mama calling me?
She didn't call you about
10 times. All right, quick context. Who are the BRICS plus nations as of today? As of whatever today is, April 2025.
April 25th, 2025.
All right.
Okay, so the founding BRIC nations are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
The newest full members as of today are Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, UAE, and Indonesia.
In the official BRICS partner countries, formally recognized not just trading, are Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Thailand, Uganda, depending on where you're from.
Exactly.
And Uzbekistan.
I like those stands.
There's a lot of stands.
Right? So combined, those BRIC nations make up 50% of the global economy and 36 plus and rising % of the global gross domestic product.
It's a clear shift away from the Western financial dominance.
That's right. All right.
Trying to get away from that dollar being the dominant, the universal. What is it? The universal
currency of business. And here's the thing, folks, like those of us who are Americans, we are so spoiled, right? Like for the most part, everyone alive today who is an American only knows American currency being the standard. And so this is a real shift, and we need to wrap our minds around it and what that means for us and how we can maintain and or preserve our wealth. So the ripple effect, what's Trump's tariffs, 2025 tariffs have triggered? All right, global tariffs have been enacted, and that is
impacting imports from China, the EU, and most of the global South. We believe that the goal is blocked BRICS from creating a new currency. They don't want them to do that.
right.
And de-dollarize trade.
Right. So why does this matter? U.S. imports from these countries, like electronics and textiles and other things, right? This could skyrocket prices, disrupt global supply chains. So that means increased inflation. We're already seeing that. Food, electronics, and fuel prices rising in the U.S., right? The other thing that you should get ready for, like in the next 2 to 3 weeks, if things don't change, are empty shelves.
Yeah.
And empty shelves means higher prices for the things that are there.
Yeah, weaponization of the dollar, using sanctions and dollar-based system.
Like SWIFT.
A society for worldwide interbank, I want to say international so bad, interbank financial.
So SWIFT, SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial. And so, if you transfer money via wire or something like that to an international bank, you have to give your SWIFT code. What is that SWIFT code? And so they're using these sanctions to punish dissent, right? And basically to not allow certain countries to use the SWIFT system. And what does it do? What else they do?
To withdraw from global bodies, undermining the WTO,
World Trade Organization,
the World Bank, and the IMF.
Right? So how have BRICS responded? Okay, first, I told you what SWIFT is. That stands for the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, right? I did international, interbank. It's the global network banks use to process international wire transfers. You've used a SWIFT code if you've ever wired money abroad, right? And to be perfectly honest, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I never heard of it until we moved to Portugal. And every single time that we have to transfer money from our United States bank to our Portuguese bank, we have to give the SWIFT code. So the US has used it to freeze nations out of this financial system.
Yeah.
Basically putting them like in financial jail, right? Like they build a wall around these countries as a way to punish them. But see, the United States ain't got that kind of power no more, especially with the melon felon in charge. That power is waning.
So BRICS response, accelerating de-dollarization.
Thank you, Lisa Watts. Thank you.
Russia and China already trading energy in ruble and yuan. Is it yuan?
I think it's yuan.
Yuan?
The
Yuan.
Chinese currency.
Like wonton? I'm just joking. Gotta make light some things. Jeez.
Look. Our Black Utopia is not into racial jokes.
No,
but he's a boomer, right? And you know how boomers are. So you're gonna have to forgive him. BRICS Pay, digital payment system to bypass the dollar. All right. So look, they are already finding ways around this. Russia's SPFS and China's CIPS created to bypass SWIFT. So SPF stands for System for Transfer of Financial Messages, and CIPS is Cross-Border Interbank Payment System for cross-border payments. Now, I know how Americans feel about China and Russia. Russia's one thing because they seem to be trying to, well, no, China's doing it too with Taiwan. Okay, they both are doing the most. And yet, they are not the aggressors in this particular situation. They are not. Like as far as Russia invading Ukraine and all of that, right? Before that even happened, and the reason why they have nothing to lose, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I know that they started putting sanctions on Russia, and all of Europe and the United States, whatever Russian money were in those banks was seized. They took all of Russian money. They took all that money. So, like, they're going to do what they're going to do. So more trade conducted in local currencies. That's what they're doing. They are conducting more of their trade and leaving swift westernized civilization, that's Western Europe, right? And America and Canada, right? And other countries out of that equation. Out of that equation. What else?
They're going to push towards gold-backed trade and settlement.
BRICS Development Bank. All right. So there's a BRICS Development Bank funding African and Latin American infrastructure outside of US and EU oversight, right? They are not asking for permission. They are going in and they are making deals with the global South to make sure that they have partners in the rise of these nations, because every empire must fail. It doesn't have to fail, but human nature says it does have to fail. And it has to fail because humans, well, not all humans, but some humans just tend to be greedy, self-centered, narcissistic buttholes. And so, as usual, Rome was eaten up from within, the same with Britain, and the same with the US. And I hate to say it. All right. So what does this mean? Oh, wait, did we get to that? Wait. All right. So they have created this BRICS Development Bank to fund infrastructure. And then
new BRIC investment platforms uses digital assets to fund projects in Africa and Global South. Aims to counter IMF, Western loan conditions, internal divisions. India, cautious. China, Russia are pushing harder.
All right. All right. So, and I understand why India is cautious, because they do, there are a lot of Indians that come to America and Britain, right, for education, and then they stay and on that HB1 or whatever visa, right, and technology, et cetera, et cetera. And then once they get a certain amount of information, they take all of that and they go back to India and do the thing. So, but they might come to a point where not pushing hard does not serve them, right? Like, if you've got a tyrant, the worst thing that you could do is capitulate.
Right.
Which is why I still have not changed my mind yet about not coming back to the United States, right? I don't want to capitulate. I don't want to bow down. I don't want the melon felon to keep me from seeing my parents or my kids. And that's what is going on. And if we operate out of a spirit of fear, they win. They win. So
what's it mean for Black investors?
What does this mean? Don't keep all your money in the US. We've been saying that, and we're saying it again. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, hey, if you're watching from the future, hey, hope it's great. Do not keep all your money in the US. Oh, darn it. So I've got a PDF of all of the banks that you can put money in and open that bank account remotely. All right. And I forgot to put it in the description. So after this is over, I will make sure that I put the PDF of all of the banks from all of the different countries in the description below. So Trump's tariff war is inflating prices and increasing economic risk. The dollar is still dominant, but
it's no longer guaranteed.
That's right. That's right. So diversify with
international index funds.
We've talked about that, right?
Precious metals, gold and silver.
We've talked about that.
Foreign currency or real estate.
We've talked about that. Okay. All right. So foreign currency, that's the easiest thing to do. That is the first and easiest thing to do. Take some of that cash and look, y'all, we told the value of the dollar is going down. So you cannot wait. You cannot wait. you need to do this as soon as possible, especially for those of you who are planning to travel extensively or live abroad. We lost about 12% of our worth since the Melon Felon got inaugurated. I'm just tired of so much winning, y'all. So much winning. Are you tired of winning? I'm tired of winning.
I don't know what to do. Myself.
Right? Oh, Lord. So much winning. 12%. The dollar has dropped 12% since the Melon Felon was inaugurated. And so I'm just thankful that that we had the forethought to transfer about a year or so's worth of living expenses to here, to Europe, so that we could maintain what, our level at the level that we had budgeted for. But for those of you who are planning based upon today, right, you need to plan accordingly. And one way to do that is to move money now. As I said, I will put the PDF of all of the banks that allow you to open a bank account remotely in the description below once this is over. So you want to open a bank account abroad? To why?
To hedge against the U.S. instability.
Period.
To hold multiple currencies. And to prepare for life abroad or smooth travel.
Right. If you're planning some big trip for December and you think you need $5,000, that might go up to $7,000 by then, unless you have that money in another currency. So when you open a foreign bank account, you will need a passport. You will need a passport and sometimes proof of address. It could be proof of address in the United States. And the majority of the list, you need proof of address in the United States and like a local tax ID number, which you can get remotely. So you want to choose international or expat friendly banks, and that's the list that we will provide for you. Many now offer virtual onboarding. Mm-hmm. All right. So
countries that will allow remote virtual onboarding.
Some of the countries. We got more than this list.
Right.
But very quickly.
Portugal.
You knew we were going to say that. You knew we were going to say that. There is a reason why so many Black folks are moving to Portugal. And one of the reasons is, even though it is onerous as far as the visa process, it is straightforward. And they act like they want you to come, unlike some other countries that make it very, very difficult and act like they don't want you to come. So second is Switzerland. But
don't come with any less than $10,000.
Yeah. Singapore, Lithuania, EU-wide, it's fintech friendly, so that's good. Down to South America, we got
Chile.
And then in Asia, we have Malaysia. No surprise there. The expat life is a wealth preservation strategy, y'all. There is a reason why we are on a mission for every free thinking Black person in the United States and Canada, and maybe even the UK, to get out from up under that system. Racism is global. We know that. Anti-Blackness is global, but it is not lethal everywhere.
Right.
It is not lethal everywhere. And you can find peace and harmony outside of the United States. And not only that, you can preserve your way of life because most other places do not cost as much as the United States. The United States is one of the most expensive countries in the world. Yes. And it's only going to get worse unless some miracle happens. And so I don't know. I ain't waiting for Superman. Are you?
Nope.
All right. Why else?
So your dollar is going to go further abroad. Mm-hmm. You know, you more personal freedom and lower health costs and housing costs.
Oh, hallelujah. Residency and citizenship options are growing around the world, and you would be amazed. It seems like every other week there's another country that is trying to do something to lure people to their shores. There are people, there are countries that actually want us to be there. Does the United States really want us to be there? Do they act like they want us to be there?
For slave labor, maybe.
They're now advertising $11, $12 for you to go work. Literally, this was the ad. 7 days a week for $10 or $11 an hour to pick blueberries in the fields. I want to see who's picking them blueberries. I want to see who's picking them blueberries. I know that you don't think them blueberry picking is going to pay off my student loan.
Nope.
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. All right. So what can you do? One, move abroad. Make that dollar stretch. Number two, track BRICS infrastructure growth. For the companies that are providing the services to create infrastructure in these countries, these are the companies or the sectors for ETFs and index funds that you need to watch. Okay, these are the things that you need to research and see if you've got some extra coins to invest. So a block is investing in roads, they're investing in rail, they're investing in digital finance. This is mainly China. China, look, y'all. China's been doing this for a while, while we've been asleep. But the first time that we were in South Africa back in 2008, China was already there investing, okay? They were already there. While the United States was like, China was like, yeah, I see this. I see this. They're also investing in renewable energy and
local manufacturing.
These are wealth building zones, especially if you're thinking globally with your investments. Okay. So, action steps: rebalance your investment portfolio to reduce US only exposure.
Research and begin opening a foreign bank account. Portugal is a great starting point.
Sign up for my Substack, for our Substack, all right, where we will be giving additional information about the political ramifications on our money and our life abroad. And then lastly,
plan a 2025 scouting trip to a BRICS country. You might not want to go to Russia right now.
No, but the two that I recommend are South Africa or Malaysia.
Oh, definitely.
Right? South Africa and Malaysia, both of those countries would meet most Americans' expectations. So out of the BRICS countries, those are the two that I would put forward.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the UAE, like, I'm not a UAE person because, I don't like a lot of rules and stuff. But if you don't mind, if you can keep your head down and stuff like that, folks love the UAE. All right? And so in closing, look, we are not into just surviving. We are into strategizing, right?
Yeah, the world is shifting and we can't afford to stand still.
No, we can't. So whether you're retiring abroad, investing globally, or just learning the game, you're doing it for you, your legacy, your family, and for our people. So
like, comment, and share this stream with someone building their Black Utopia.
That's right. That's right. So y'all know the game. Y'all know the game. If you found this information helpful, please hit that thumbs up, smash that like button. If you would like to support our Black Utopia and be a part of the family, we have launched our membership program. And as we said, every single week, we're going to be chatting with you before we go live. You're going to hang out with Rick and I and just chat, right? See what's going on, see how we can help, see how we can help each other. And for those of you who can afford to join at the legacy level, not only will you get that and other small perks, but you will also we'll probably have some some things that are only for members only, some articles that are for members only, some videos that are for members only, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, and so for our legacy people, every other Thursday, you have an opportunity to come on live with us. All right. So that means we will be going live every single Thursday as soon as we have some legend members, and we will chitty chat about the latest financial news, etc. If you're coming to the meetup, that is June 16th and June 17th. And we have already started taking t-shirt orders. So I just asked the tour company when was the last day. So we are coming up on the last days to be able, if you're coming to Lisbon in June, consider coming to our meetup. We're going to have a bunch of fun. There's over 70 people signed up right now. So we're really happy. They are planning all kind of other activities that they're going to do before the meetup and after the meetup, and tastings and all of this stuff that they are going to be doing in other tours and stuff like that. We'll join them for a couple of those. There's a lot of activities going on before the week before and those days after. So
June is a party month in Portugal.
June is definitely the party month. If you need help with getting your financial plan together, Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for late bloomers. That information is in the description below. If you'd like to book a call with Rick and myself, if you need help making a plan to move abroad, if you need help getting your finances together and you want that quick start, you don't have to do it alone. Do it with someone who has done it before. We have talked to too many people who are getting advice from people who are making money from the advice that they give and what they suggest. So, in other words, if we suggest that you invest in a total stock market index fund, we don't get a kickback for that. We're telling you what we did, right? And so that's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by that. So we love y'all, and we will see you Sunday. We will be back in Portugal. And I don't know what we're talking about. What should we talk about? Let us know. If you made it to the end, drop a heart in the comments, drop a heart in the chat. We love y'all, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.